Hey everybody, me again. Today's video, we're doing another little Sling Talk podcast. And today I'm with one of my buddies, well, probably one of my best friends that I never even met in real person. So it's gonna be fun to talk face to face. All right. He's also one of the longest online Sling participants out there next to Mercy, y'all. So he's probably also the first person to ever sling a watermelon, a pumpkin, and make a sling with 8 freaking pouches in it, y'all. Welcome to my good buddy, Joe Meadmaker, y'all.
Hey guys,
What's
cheers,
happening,
Shannon.
Joe? Cheers.
Same old stuff. Good to be here.
Hell yeah, good to see you, man. Good to see you. So you know what? Just jump into it quick, bro. How long you been slinging? What got you into slinging? And why are you still slinging?
All right. That's actually a bit of a long story. I've started slinging twice.
Yeah.
When I first ever tried slinging was probably around like 2008, 2009, maybe 2010, somewhere in there. What got me started was my mom gave me a book called Clan of the Cave Bear. I'm sure lots of folks out there. Sure, lots of folks out there are familiar with it, but it's like way back Neanderthal times, and the protagonist in it becomes very adept at using a sling.
Come on, okay.
And
Caves of a Clan Bear.
Clan of the Cave Bear.
Clan of the Cave Bear. Okay, I'm listening.
But no, so I read that and I was like, slings are cool, so I'm going to go out and do this and be awesome. And that didn't work out. I tried it and was terrible. I did maybe 4 or 5 sessions. I tried braiding a sling, and that actually came out okay, but slinging did not. So I just kind of quit doing it until I bought my house, and this is like almost 10 years later.
Yeah.
And I have 3 apple trees in my yard, and they were falling and just laying all over the yard. Usually the deer come and clean them up, but they weren't doing a good enough job. So I still had that old sling I first made. Actually, I'll pull it out at some point. It's right back here behind me. But I went out and just tried it again and started slinging the apples out of my yard. And it was not trying to hit a target or anything, just zinging them out there. And it was like, this is fun.
Oh, yeah. 10 years later. 10 years later, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You're more, dog. Hell yeah. Nice. Yeah, because one thing I noticed about you, because I know we have our little cards up and everything, and I seen that it shows 2018 is like, I guess, when you started. And that's the same year I started, but I know for sure I seen your videos before I even started. I know you, Kick, Jaeger. There was a couple of channels I seen before. You was definitely one of them, man.
Yeah, those early ones are kind of tough to watch sometimes.
Tell me about it.
What kept me going when I started in 2018? That was when I signed up on slinging.org.
Once you got to the community.
And then that got some interaction. I mean, Kick and MRSA were both on there, and we're posting daily there. And nice. MRSA had this online challenge thread going, and that got me really trying to achieve certain stuff. So that's what kept it going on that second startup in 18.
That's it. That's one thing I noticed about you. You love accepting challenges, and like you did almost all of them. You know what I'm saying? A lot more than I would have did. You know what I'm saying? And I was watching some of your videos earlier, man, and my favorite ones. Well, I go from latest. I guess the latest one, but I just watched it the other day and I laughed my ass off. Was when you're not slinging right, when you get mad slinging.
Oh yeah,
you know what I'm saying? It is so relatable, bro. It's so relatable. It just kick the bucket.
Yeah, and those clips, those were 3 different sessions. I mean, that wasn't even a video I was intending to make, but once I did the couple of things, I was like, I think in some of like my other competitions or something, I got mad and did something. I got to go. So that was actually cutting that video together was way faster than searching to go find all those clips that I wanted to put in there.
Yeah, just check out for the bucket flying. I know that feeling, man, because that's one of the major things when it comes to slinging. Sometimes, man, like I went out there today to the park, and it was like probably my worst practice session all year, man. It just you never know what happens. And
Yep.
I know one thing about you in particular that you focus on, and I focus on, like it's something you're gonna have to focus on eventually once you get to a certain level of slinging, and it's the overcorrection. All
Yeah.
right. Do you have any? Well, what did you figure out when it comes to best way to get out of that overcorrection stage? I mean, I know I still do. I know we all still do it, but what helps the most?
Yeah, and this I think it's going to be different depending on what style someone's using. But I've found what's starting to work for me. I have to try it a couple more times. A lot of times I don't even think of it, but once I notice that I keep throwing left, and even when I try to get an earlier release, that's still not helping. I kind of try to throw more forward. So even though I
Oh,
use a sidearm release, so there's a whole torso rotation, I try to make sure that my shoulders come forward a little bit as I'm coming through, which similar to something you talk about a lot with getting that area you're getting zoned into to get that kind of reset.
exactly, exactly. I'm glad that you said that because there's a thing with me, especially when I throw 20 meters. There's a spot where like if I could feel it where like the ball goes a little bit to the left or a little bit falls down, and it's like that's because I just had a little bit too much of a turn. It's like
Mhm.
to kind of fix it, it's like either try to like go straight over the top or like just try to have like a little extra I don't know, timing device, give yourself a little extra movement, to figure it out. Because today I went out there with Larry. He's just starting learning how to
Mhm.
sling, and I'm noticing like his spin. Like sometimes it's like he'll spin it and then try to throw it, and it's like I see that little timing off. So I was like, all right, instead of spinning it a lot, try spinning it once. And he
Yeah.
still kind of had that problem with once, but it was a little bit better. But it was a weaker shot. And then with no spin, it was even a weaker shot. But once he got his timing down a little better, throwing with one spin, he started with 2 or 3 spins and started getting it better. Which
Yeah.
it's like there's a thing about when you throw, you just throw. But when you're slinging, it's like you need to throw, like instead of throw. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you gotta get the muscle memory build up of where that release point is.
Yeah, yeah. I never said this before, but now we're talking about it. I'm thinking also like think about your arm and shoulder just a little bit late. You know what I'm saying? Like you throw, but this is just lagging. I guess I might have said that before in different ways, but that's a good another way to think. I'm like that. When I'm talking to Larry and stuff or trying to teach somebody how to sling, I throw so much stuff out there. It's like there's so
Yeah.
much stuff. And that's another roadblock, right? You know what I'm saying? There's so much stuff in your head. It's like, okay, this is too much.
Yeah, it's hard not to overwhelm the overwhelm the student.
Yeah, that's when buckets start to fly.
I'm gonna start doing that. Make sure everyone has an anger bucket out in front of them so they can go kick it if you miss.
That's it. We should start selling slinging punching bags. Just hang up right on side your little throwing area.
That's not a bad idea.
Well, I got a good one for you, Joe, because you're one of the experimental slingers. You like to do a bunch of cool stuff. All right, and one of my favorite ones, or one question I want to ask you is, what's the most practical scatter shot? Because I think I know for sure you got two cool ones I want to talk about. Is the one that's the quad cup? That's one of them. Where
Mhm.
it's like a wooden thing that throws them, a wooden pouch, which is cool as hell. And then you also had the 8 sling. It was like one release cord with 8 pouches, and you had them all in a line, so it was like they wouldn't tangle.
Yeah.
I see. It seems like you had more trouble with that one, but if you're ever in a situation where, let's say, rabbit hunting, we're trying to kill us a rabbit, and instead of just having one rock, do you think it's well? Let's not go there. Let's just say, do you think there's a sling or some kind of thing that you could play with that actually give you positive results.
Yeah, and like for throwing, like the two you mentioned there, those are kind of like for throwing full size projectiles. Like you could throw a tennis ball with those, or I was throwing the full sized ice balls with them. I mean, if
Yeah,
you were looking for more of a shotgun effect, the best ones are the ones that are kind of like a cylinder shape, and you put a bunch of small
a
things
solid
you can put.
pouch.
Yeah, or but the canister with a bottom that opens up.
Yeah, I seen Kick did. You did that one too. I seen Kick did that one.
Yeah, I did
You
one of
did it
those.
too,
Yeah, I
bro.
mean, my videos on that kind of type are called scatter sling.
Scatter Sling. Okay. Yeah. Hell yeah. Yeah. Because I did see that one too. I did see that one too. Do you think a solid pouch or a cup is better?
The cylinder seems to give you a tighter grouping. If you just use,
Okay.
because I mean, I tried with that too, like just a big pouch that you just fill up with whatever, and that works, but you get like a big wide spread with it.
Yeah, because you throwing it and just spreading it out.
Yeah,
It's not like a
yeah. It's one side of the pouch starts to release, and then they just go along as it goes through the motion. I mean, it's not real wide. I mean, you could still, like, if you had a big flock of birds or something in front of you, that might be beneficial because then you're going to do a really broad spread instead of, you might hit 3 or 4 of them instead of
yeah.
throwing just a tighter spread at a couple.
Okay. Hell yeah. That's definitely one I'm about to try to do. That's one I never did. Well, my slings are they are split pouch, but I would like to try the cup pouch, and I've been wanting to make a full pouch just for that situation. You see a flock of birds,
Yeah.
take something down. Because I mean, you try to take a sling camping, it's like I just try to figure out what's the most practical ways to use it. And like a flock of birds is probably one of the best.
100%.
Yeah, because accuracy is so difficult.
So I can miss and still hit.
That's it. All right. I would like to get to. I've been noticing lately you've been using the smiley sling. Hell yeah,
Mhm.
braided pouch. Okay, and I seen a video, and I seen the title of it and everything. I think you had a Balearic sling. You had the sling Balearic sling, okay?
Yes, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, now let's just say a Balearic sling versus a single strand sling. That's like kind of on both opposite sides of the spectrum, right? Like a single strand compared to like a braided, maybe a little bit heavier. I know kind of the smallest sling is kind of in the middle. But like if you had to sling each one, what's the differences you feel between
it's similar to what you experience. I know sometimes you try out the single strands and do videos with them, but they do tend to release faster and cleaner than a heavy braided sling. But so that's a lot. When you switch over to one of those, you end up throwing high and right because the stuff's just getting out quicker.
Yeah.
But with the braided slings, they seem to give. I've thought about this before, and I can't really decide how to describe it. It's kind of an element of control, like if you take a single strand sling and you want to go into a rotor real fast, it's going to have that long drag. Behind it.
Yeah.
But if you have a thick braided sling, it can keep up with you much quicker, and that really comes into play if you're using heavier projectile.
True that.
But I mean, at least for me, it kind of gives me a little bit of just kind of a touch that, you can feel the release a little bit better. I mean, it's probably in a bad way because the projectile's having a harder time pushing free of the sling.
Yeah.
But just that contact kind of gives you feedback on where your release is. Because one thing I've noticed, because I did single strand for a long time, and it was really after that video when you sent me some tips that I really switched over to the braided sling and started using that more. And I think it's easier to go from single strand to a braided sling and get comfortable with it quicker than to go the other way.
Yeah, definitely. And a fun fact that I learned today, because I was out there with Larry today, and he has a sling, so I made him a a slim sling, a smaller sling, like a thinner sling. I was like, all right, here, just and it was a little bit shorter. And I could tell, like, his time was over here, use this one. But he was so used to the sling he was using, the new sling was actually worse for him because he was still doing the same thing and he wasn't really used to it. So I think you're onto something there, Joe. I think like it's really important, like where you start. You know what I mean? Because like if we want to go to like a Balearic sling, which is like a flat braided pouch, it's like technically it's like it really got to be an underhand throw. You know what I'm saying? Because you kind of throw like me, maybe a little more side on, but it's more like up here somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, I saw that the other day. We actually have, I think mine might be a little bit flatter and yours a little more vertical, but we have similar rotor position. Yeah, you come a little more over the top and I'm a little bit, just above the horizontal.
And that's what I think the biggest, one of the biggest things about Balearic slingers is like they always start with like a under, like under the plane, so it's like and I mean, I guess when you're starting, you just pulling it out and it makes it a lot easier. Because I see people struggling with the over the top off the dump. But the thing I like about a round sling is it doesn't have to be flat. You can grab it and just throw. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
yeah, I know Balearics are one. I think Mersa mentioned when you were doing your talk with him that he hasn't had much luck with them. I'm in that boat too. I got a few of them, even ones from Luis. I got a couple of his slings, but I've tried them. The one I used for a little while, but just they don't feel quite right.
Yeah, I think that you need to you have to practice with it so long you'll learn a certain style, and it feels right. Because some people use them and that's all they use and they love them. You know what I mean? And that's why I'm just trying to talk to other people because I have the same situation. And it's like, okay, well, I kind of see where everybody's going with. I think a Balearic thing is pretty much got to be underhand. Not underhand, but I guess that's what you call it. I don't know. But
or even
under the plane.
Yeah, like even a sidearm, but one that, below the horizontal point.
Yeah. And me playing baseball, that's something I never knew about was like the underhand throw. And then once I started really watching, because I made some videos because I want to know like what's better over the top, side on, whatever. Where it comes to baseball, you don't hurt yourself and stuff over the top, but you don't have an extra thing to your arm. You know what I'm saying? It's not like you're using your whole body to do this if you just got a sling. You know what I'm saying? So the sling probably won't hurt you as much, when it comes to trying to compare it to baseball. But I think that's what makes it so unique. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
like on that, I mean, you can get, as long as your form's good and that sling's moving good, your body movement isn't anywhere near as extreme as throwing a baseball. Because like you said, the sling's doing the work.
That's it. It's funny all the things you end up learning while you're slinging. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, this is crap. I never even thought of this.
Then later learn you were wrong.
Yeah, exactly. God damn. This is my biggest one right now. Like when me and Versa had our last conversation, we was talking about, because I love my 550 Paracord smaller sling. And I tried to go back to a smaller sling. And there's just something I can't figure out what I don't like about it. Maybe because I'm just used to it. But like, even if I go make a video and try to throw long distance, it's like I can't really prove it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think I could I think if I got a heavier weight with a heavier sling, it would be a lot smoother and easier. I think you can go throw further. But I'm just trying to find those numbers, right? My slings are about 60 inches, and I like throwing these little things. They're about 80 grams, 60 inches, 60 grams, and these are about 80 grams, 100 grams, 120 grams. I'm good with. But whenever we go to the online competition, I just feel way more comfortable with like a 200-300 gram rock that I could just, feel the weight.
Yeah.
And with that being said, I feel like what size of those ice balls are you always throwing? Because you're a heavyweight person. You like to throw those big boys. You like to see an explosion. Your poor
Yeah.
target don't stand a chance.
They're not too bad actually. Usually they're around 110 grams.
110, nice. I like that. I
Yeah,
like
so I
that
like
weight.
because they're about the same size as a tennis ball, or just a tiny bit smaller, but then they're about twice the weight.
Yeah, solid. Yeah, and that's another good aspect. Today, I was talking to Larry about. Was it Larry? I don't know. I was talking about it today, and yeah, whenever I thought I was a good slinger. I thought I was a real good slinger till I got tennis balls at a certain distance with a certain target. Then you put numbers in the mix. Then it's like, oh man, this is harder than I thought. It changed the game, bro. And I literally started at like maybe a month or two before the first World Cup, and I was like, oh man, I was nervous. I ain't gonna lie. First year I was nervous as hell.
I bet that was something I remember running into that too. I mean, I'm still not great in the competitions, but some of the earlier ones, and I hit my struggles. It's like in all the earlier slinging days, like when I was first on slinging.org and everything, it was all about the challenges and reaching that. And that's such a different animal from target slinging because it's like challenges. You just go and go and go until you get that one hit and then you're done.
Just like, all we did it.
But with target slinging, it's get that hit. Now do it again and do it again and do it again.
And that's the hard part is getting in that groove. I always say slinging is just like playing blackjack. It's all about trying to find that good shoot and just sticking to it. You know what I'm saying? Because I did it today. I would score like an 8-3, and then the next round nothing. I couldn't even hit the board. You know.
Yep.
But one thing we did do that's a little different. That's why I was so bad today. Was me and Ray went work out yesterday, chest and try. So it's sore as hell today. And like I worked out sore, and I was like, oh yeah, this ain't good for target practice.
Work on your underhand.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I scored a lot better. I promise you. Yeah, speaking of scoring a lot better, I just watched the 20-meter sitting down video you did, which is scored like a 9-4.
No, I think it was a 9-1.
Or 9-1, not 4. Yeah, I think you would have. Up, Cheney would have got you by 2 dianas, but you'd have came in second place hard. That's how it is, though, man. We was out there to be the last year. It was like, we'll give you 5 balls, and then we'll start the tournament. You know what I'm saying? Because nobody warmed up. Everybody, the whole online slinging people, the first 5 was killer rounds.
Yep.
When you get to the game, it's like, oh, shit. I want my first round back.
100%.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
And also,
another thing, oh, go ahead, man.
No. I was about to say that's one thing I learned when we did our sitting challenge with you. When you had your chair, and I was like, "We're gonna sit down with you." I sat down and it was like, "All right, well, I'm just having fun playing around." Man, I scored more points than I did standing up.
Yeah. Yep.
So mental, man.
But it's weird where you can get it. I mean, I still run into, like, for the competition coming up. Is another example. Get back on my feet. And I don't know why. It's probably something to do with the projectile weight with the ice balls. But, just at 20 meters, I'm still like so many other weeks. I'm just, even if I'm not hitting the target, I'm much more in the zone than with tennis balls at 13 meters.
Oh, yes. That I think a lot to do with is that solid, just being solid. It doesn't have that hollow that wants to do all that curving, especially. And like, me personally, like I got that angle. Your angle's the same way, but it's a little bit. But with that tennis ball, that curve can just not hit the board. Like the board could be right here. You just throw it like that so many times.
Yeah,
but that's it don't curve as much with a solid rock or a solid ice ball.
Yeah, that's definitely true.
Well, I know we're kind of late into this, but I wanted to say, just to get out there, you've been with us for a long time. What happened to your ankle, man?
Oh, that was New Year's Eve at the party. I
Nice.
was just walking to go back in the house, and I was walking across the porch. And that night, at least around here, it was warm and rainy. So the wooden porch was kind of slick. And just when I got to the steps, my left foot went out from underneath me, and my right foot, the toe, caught on the step as I fell back. So my ankle just got
Whew. Oh man, I'm sure you better, Joe boy. I bet that hurt. I bet that did not feel good.
Yeah, it wasn't.
I hope you was high in spirits that night.
Yeah, I went back in and had another cigar and a couple more beers.
Let's go. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, man. It's funny. Me and my partner, speaking of broken ankle, not that long ago, we was out there playing around. Same thing. We was barbecuing or something, and all these little boys and stuff was running around cutting backwards flips. So I'm like, man, I can still do that. So I pretty much landed on my head, but that's okay. I land on my head all the time. Look at my face. But my partner, he snapped his ankle. He snapped it so bad, bro. You can hear it right when he hit. You can hear it. I was like, oh, Lord. Yeah, he was out of work for like 3 months for that.
Yeah, the bone heals in like 6 weeks or whatever, but then it's just the rehab. I mean, even right now, I took my first steps without my crazy boot. I mean, I got it back on now because I'm all kind of swelled up, but it might still be 2.5 months before I'm back to normal.
True. Yeah, and then when you're normal, like what's normal? You know what I'm saying? You can't just take off in a sprint. You know what I mean? Because my partner, he's still like that. He have to take his boot on it. Well, he's kind of bad when he takes his boot off a lot. You know. Well, all right, Joe. Let's get down to this one. Let's say if you trying to show somebody how to sling, you first meeting somebody, they want to sling, or they interested, they see you, they like to do it. What's your advice to them? Like, how would you get them into slinging?
That might come up because I know a guy, and last year, like in the fall, I was going to try to get him in the competition, but
nice.
A couple times we planned to set up the sling, and just something came up. Something came up for me, or he couldn't make it, or whatever. But once we get a little bit nicer weather, I'm going to reach out to him again. But yeah, on the question, I know he has a sling he bought somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if he's actually used it yet. So, I mean, I'm real big on like, don't dictate right away first. Let them just throw a couple balls, even if it's just 2 or 3 throws, and see what that person is trying to do naturally. Because then you could kind of give them some lead on what might help them with that. If they are trying to throw like an overhand or trying to throw sidearm. Sorry if you hear yelling.
I like that.
In here screaming.
I like that at all. I love that advice. I love that advice is, all right, see how they throw first, and then, maybe critique or give them advice on how they throw first. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because I think whatever they try to do naturally, their brain's already kind of in that mode. So like if they're trying to do an overhand, maybe try to get them into like that Apache throw, like you had Curse doing.
Yeah,
he seemed to be coming along with that. If they're trying to throw sidearm, see if a rotor helps them, or see if they're just trying to do like maybe a once around and throw it.
I like it. That's real good advice, because one thing that that Curse said that made a lot of sense. And because we went, I don't know, 3 or 4 or 5, maybe a week of practice, and I'm always trying to like, here, give them tips. And then one day I was like, all right, I'm not really gonna give them tips. I'm just gonna let them go. And then it was like, I don't know how he said it, but he was like, after you can teach somebody so much, you can only just let them go. You know what I mean? It's not like I could teach you. You know, it's like I could teach you so much. All right, now you just got to put the time and work in. You know.
Yeah, and when they're doing that, you can look for other things too. Like I have another friend who, he's by no means a slinger, but I've had him doing it maybe half a dozen, maybe 10 times. You know, like when he's over my house, we'll throw some ice balls or throw the apples if they're in the yard or something like that.
Yeah.
But so he's done it enough, and he's hit a target with a sling before and that kind of thing. But the last time he was here, and I think we were throwing apples out of the yard because it was last fall. He started trying to do just once around, kind of like a Byzantine throw.
Yeah.
But because before that, he was just trying to mimic what I was doing.
Yeah.
Because he saw that as, okay, that's how you sling, so I'll try to do that. But then he started to find his own throw, but the problem he ran into, he had this great big long single strand sling. And he just couldn't get the speed up enough because he wasn't practiced enough for that. I mean, we know those single strands can do it. We watch MRSA do it all the time.
That's it. But
so I told him, I mean, we ran out of time and ran out of apples, but I said, hey, next time you're here and we're doing this, I'll get you a braided sling and you should be able to do that kind of style better with it.
Yeah, definitely. Because the first thing you want is something long. Like this is my first one ever right here. Big dump pouch. I could throw big rocks and just I don't even know how long this is. It's probably 100-something inches. Well, you don't know what you're doing, but you just want to throw something really far.
Here, I'll see if I can.
And then just bust stuff up.
Give me 1 second here.
Yeah.
But here, jumping back in, this is after reading that book, this was the first braided sling I did. I don't know how well it's going to show up, but just as
after reading that book, so you was what, like 10? Oh no, not 10. Yeah.
No, around that point I'd been in my early 30s. I'm 43 right now.
Oh, okay, bro.
But it's braided hemp. You know, it's
that's pretty, man.
I think it's a 4-strand. It might be an 8.
What?
That's an 8-strand.
Cool.
But yeah, that's the one that started it, and then sat for years and years and years until I saw some apples on the ground.
Oh, well, that thing's gonna be valuable one day. Ain't nothing like your first sling. Oh yeah, you're a legend in the community.
In a couple of weeks here.
Yeah, I know that feeling. Hell yeah, man. So, all right. So, do you plan on coming to Ibiza next year? I know you talked about it.
That was on my list of topic to bring up. Yeah, I mean, right now the plan is to try. I'm back moving around again. Sometime this weekend is going to be my first attempt at driving in over 2 months.
Oh,
so
okay.
I mean, as soon as I can get around, I'm going to go down to AAA and get the passport started and get that done. So I have that.
Nice.
And then, I mean, I still want to wait till we get closer to make sure nothing's going to come up or interfere with it or whatever. So probably like, I'm thinking like maybe midsummer, I'm going to make the call. Like right now it's, yes, I want to go. Like midsummer I'll make it. And then if I'm good, if everything looks good, then I'll, get flight booked and all that good stuff.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. Yeah, that's one thing for me. I got to get my ass back to work. It's getting around that time. I got to make sure I got my money to go because that's something I just got to do every year now. That is so much fun. Just meeting everybody that you kind of know, from online or really know because you talk all the time to everybody. But seeing them in person, it's a whole other feeling, man.
Yeah, that's great. I was going to ask you that. So it's like every year you're going, no matter.
That's it. I have to, dog. I have to. I got to get that first place one year. Bro. Yeah. I got to.
That'll be got first place. Now I'm never going back.
That's it. I got a trophy. Oh no! I'm gonna go forever, for as long as I can, for sure. If I'm physically able, I will be out there. I never really left my state, especially the South, and then got out into another country. It's like the greatest thing I ever did. So much fun. especially being in the niche. You know what I'm saying? Because like if you go on vacation somewhere, it's fun. You know, vacation's fun, but nobody's gonna have a sling. Out here, it's like the vacation is part of like, all right, we're going to this court and we're gonna play this stuff and we can hang out, we're gonna eat, but you can still sling while we eat. You know, it's just perfect. You know?
Yeah, that even just hearing, I'm getting all excited. It's like I'm going.
Oh, what? I know, right?
Now I'll grab couple of my growlers here, make sure I get them filled up with some big jugs of mead and bring it along.
Oh yeah. Just so y'all know, Joe got the best meat in town. I never had meat as good as yours, man. I don't know what it is. Oof. So good.
I always love hearing that.
Hey, it's delicious. Everybody out there, because just so everybody don't know, brought some meat out there. Joe wasn't there, but his meat was out there, and we spread it against everybody. And there was people that didn't drink wine, didn't drink nothing, didn't really drank that. And was like, man, got some more? No, we ain't got no more.
That's hopefully if I get out there, there'll be a couple of growlers so everyone can have a glass full if they want.
That's what I'm talking about. All right, man. I don't want to be a short-term memory shot, but I'm trying to bring back. What did you say about the overcorrection? I remember.
Yeah. On that, I mean, how I've started trying to think of it is get kind of in my head. What I say is stop throwing it left, throw it forward.
It's forward. That's what it was. I'm sorry, forward.
And then so when I'm coming around, I try to just not just rotate the shoulders, but have maybe kind of like an oval shape, so it's kind of coming forward and around. Yeah, and I mean, I don't know if that's what's actually happening when I do that. We need some side and overhead slow motion happening on that throw to see if.
Yeah, but what's really important? I mean, yeah, definitely was going down, but it's like you thinking about it. It's like that's in your. It's like this is what I'm thinking about. It might be another different action, but it's what you're thinking about. Because one thing I notice about you, because usually what I tell people when I'm watching somebody sling and they go too left, or too right or whatever, I look at their feet, and you want to kind of go straight. Your feet could kind of help, but your feet are always right where it needs to be. So I can see that you on that, like where you step, you just still fine tuning that top half.
Like I mean, I think my feet are in the right place, at least most of the time. But I think I get too much of an over rotation, or just my timing's off. And that was another subject that came up about. Just how fast your rotor is and how fast you're trying to throw, and actually speeding up your throw, trying to throw harder, can actually get your accuracy back on.
Yeah, I think when it comes to that, because I'm just learning that, I want to do a video on it. So I guess I talked about it already, so I'm probably gonna do a video on that exactly. But one thing I learned, because I was trying to throw rocks the other day. And dude, before I do, I was out there for so long. I was like, bruh, why is it taking me so long, so many times to hit this thing? But what helped me get out of it was when you spinning it, it should really be on the weight of the projectile. And I guess compared to the sling too. But when I'm just slinging like a tennis ball, you're thinking about the shot. The spinning, everything's in it. It's kind of light. When you got something heavy, you gotta, if it's a big heavy rock, you can't really spin it a bunch of times. You kind of want to,
totally.
spin it too many times, it'll come out the pouch or something. But it's like the spin really should depend on the weight of the projectile.
Great point. I mean, on that was kind of just on that topic. We were just kind of talking in the realm of tennis balls.
Yeah, tennis balls. Yeah.
But just. And not of your, but for me talking, like if I'm going left and left and left, if I speed up, that throwing faster might get my release out quicker, and then I catch up with my rotation.
Oh, yeah.
And that's another thing. I don't know if that's what's happening on that, but it's just another thing.
Hey, if it helps, it helps. You know what I mean?
once you've been slinging a while, you feel like you've tried 100 different things to
Yeah.
try to fix something, and it's like half of them work once in a while.
Yeah, that's the bad part. It's like, oh, I figured something out, and then you try to get in the groove of it, and that's where everything goes to crap. Like, ah, damn it, let me go back to day one. That's what got me. That's what got me in a bind a few times, not remembering the original things that I need to do to get to stay in the groove. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, this kind of works, and I start thinking about this, and then this happens. I start thinking about this. Before I know it, I feel like I can't sling, and I'm kicking buckets all over the place. Yeah, man. One of my biggest things I've been going through lately is which I've been noticing lately about myself is if I get really tuned into 13 meters, my 20 meters is off.
Yeah.
And then that can flip. That's the crazy part. That can flip. I could get good on 20 meters, and 13 I can't hit the thing on board.
I'm right there with you. I mean, although right now I can't hit either one, but there's usually one's good and one's off.
Yeah.
I mean, with that, I don't know if it helps or not, but I think changing the ammo between them, so that it is just a completely different experience.
Well, with that being said, I would have to say that if I'm throwing tennis balls at 13, if I throw baseballs at 20, it's closer than throwing tennis balls at 20 and 13. Because tennis balls at 20 is like I gotta start aiming high and not spinning it too hard, but baseballs I can still kind of go through the same thing. You know what I mean? Yeah. So let's say everything's working out. We're going to the World Cup. All right, you gonna have any kind of training you're gonna do? Any regimen you're gonna try to stick to?
I might. Well, I probably will, because I mean, like in the competition, some of my best weeks were right. I know we like last July we like took that month off except for the very end.
Yeah,
and like it was that one, and then into early August that I had some good numbers up, especially for 13. And that's because that's when I decided to try the 100 round.
Ah, okay.
And it was like there was left. I knew there was just that one competition end of July, and I was like, I want this one to be good. So I was like, I'm going to go out and throw 100 tennis balls. And like that whole week before that, I was doing like, or not, a couple weeks before that, I was doing like 400 or 500 rounds through the week.
Nice.
Just like every day after work, go out and do that. But I mean, it stopped because the laundry didn't get done and the cat didn't get fed. There's just no time for anything else going out and doing all that slinging.
I know, man can't have hobbies these days. What's wrong with this world, bro?
Exactly. You should give me a half a day off work to practice.
That's it, man.
But so that coming up, I'll probably for that at least a few weeks, if not a couple months, just try to make sure I'm doing 100 round every week, 3 times a week.
Hell yeah! You don't you lose any balls back there because you don't have like a fence or nothing, and then you're always using ice. I mean, that gotta get a lot of work,
It's not too bad. It's just fill the molds up and freeze them. I mean, I think that's actually quicker than chasing down ammunition.
Yeah, probably less work than me. I just go steal rocks from the railroad track. It's been 4 years now. I ain't got trouble yet.
But yeah, I mean, I've lost a tennis ball here and there, but not too bad. Because almost everyone like sets their target up and they move back, and mine doesn't do that. It's like I have my place where I sling from, and the target for tennis balls is kind of in the middle of the yard. So even if I miss, they're still kind of in the yard, and I move the target away from me for longer distance.
I got you. Yeah. So they ain't gonna roll up in the bushes.
Yeah, I mean sometimes they do. If you get heat on one, and especially if it's a little bit high, it might bounce all the way there. But I mean, in the summers when it's bad, like right now, everything's dead, so they're easy to find.
Yeah. Springtime's a coming. Hell yeah. Oh, I guess I'm doing all this backwards. But what do you do? What do you what's your job? I guess you could say, like, if you don't mind me asking.
Oh no, I'm in IT. That was one of the things with
What? Nice.
breaking the ankle wasn't that big a deal because I was doing most of my work from home anyway. That started back when COVID hit.
Oh, okay. Hell yeah. That's fire, man. You talked to Kick lately? I ain't seen him in a while.
No, I mean we have words back and forth every once in a while on the one Instagram chat group. But yeah, I mean he just seems to be busy with stuff, and I know he's up there in.
Yeah, I'm about to say he probably frozen solid.
Yeah.
I think he said he's gonna come back in the competition when he defrosts a little bit.
Yeah, that'd be awesome to see him back. Oh, he did say that. I forget the name of it. He went last year. It's some like Norwegian, like they dress up in the old like kind of live action role play or something like that, and they go out and trounce through the woods, and you have to do shooting and all this stuff. At the end of it, you're supposed to come up, and they have like a fake moose or something. I don't remember what it is, but usually they'd shoot it with a bow. But he takes his sling and he slings at it. And last year and this year, he got hit one throw, got hit.
King Kick. That's holding down the slingers. That's what I'm talking about. 100%. True legend. Hell yeah, man. Hey, he's a surprise out there, bro. He's a surprise. I can't, man. He's one of my favorite people when I go out there, bro. I go out there and just kills it. Just kills it.
Yeah, and you watch his videos, and sometimes he's just not hitting targets, but that seems to be the odd ball. It's like, or sometimes we're watching one of his videos, and I forget, he's just like talking to the camera about whatever, and just turns around. He's like, hit.
Yeah. I see that video. I was like, man, I gotta do a video like that. That's too cool. I just keep missing it when I turn around.
But yeah, love that dude.
Yeah. Hell yeah, Joe. So
here's some. I'll throw a topic to you here.
Yeah, what you got, dog?
I think we need one thing to mention. We can send word out on the competition. I'm going to put a post up on the forum too.
Okay.
We got the egg challenge coming up not too far down the road.
That's right. Easter's right around the corner. Yep. Egg challenge 2023, baby.
We got the egg challenge for spring. We got the pumpkin for fall. I think 4 challenges is a doable thing. I think we need to get a regular summer and a regular winter challenge figured out.
Yeah, definitely.
Something that's kind of on theme, so we can get interest in it.
I like that. Anybody watching this and got any ideas, drop them in the comments. Shoot.
100%.
Yeah. So that's what we can do. We'll do 4 seasons. We'll do what you said, 6. How many challenges?
Yeah, 4. So we'll have
4 challenges.
One per season.
One every 3 months.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. We'll set that up. Because I've been wanting to do something different too. I haven't been pushing it because I've been lazy when it comes to editing and everything. But I mean, a good, all the challenges, 30 meters and all that stuff was fun. We need to jump in that again.
And we got the
shots.
Egg coming up. We can throw that out and give people a month to figure stuff out, because the eggs and the pumpkin's real bad, because everyone's done so many things with it. It's hard to come up just with what you want to do, because it's slinging a rock and hitting a pumpkin's that doesn't cut it anymore. You need something exciting.
That's it. And then a pumpkin's tough. A pumpkin's really tough. It's not as easy as people think. I'd rather throw out a watermelon or something.
Yeah, that one I hit a pumpkin with a 7-pound rock and it cracked it a little bit. Now I want the Looney Tunes, with.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do tannerite in my pumpkin next year.
There you go.
Gotta figure out how to explode it.
But there's been so much done. Even the fire broke out last year, burning.
Yeah. Mercer tearing it up with 100%. The tungsten, the flaming tungsten. Shout out King Mercer.
But yeah, it's getting like accomplishing your challenge is getting to be the easy part. Figuring out what you're going to do is the tough part.
Exactly. Oh, just try to think of videos. Try to think of videos to do. That's crazy. I figure I done did all of them. There's a few of them I haven't did, like your pumpkin challenge. That's too much. I'm gonna kill myself. That's one thing I want to ask you about. I will finish my list first. The candle. I'll probably break too many candles. Spinning the top off the bottle, I could probably do, but that's just gonna aggravate me. The sand thing. It's like I could probably hit it, man, but man, I might be out there just constantly picking up sand and putting it back in the thing.
Yeah, I tried that one. Mercer was putting all those out. What do you call that? His unicorns or all his unicorn. I think that was the word he used. But yeah, the hourglass and all those other ones he was doing.
Crazy shots.
Yeah, and I tried the hourglass once and got.
You got it?
A couple of close ones. No, I didn't. Couple close ones, but even then, I finally quit because even like it was so hard. Even if I went up to it and hit that card with the ball to get it to work.
Yeah.
And so I was like, even if I hit the card, there's like 20% chance it'll work.
Yeah, it'll just spin a little bit. Now I'm still where I'm at. That's the worst too. It's like trying to hit a floating balloon or something with a rock. You hit it and it just moves to the side, like
Yeah, I did see your video on the balloon attack.
Yeah, the Chinese. Yeah. That's one thing you don't think of. You got to throw it right at the fire, because if you throw it at the balloon, it's just gonna go straight through it.
Yeah,
I know that.
Hadn't even thought about that.
You know what's crazy about that video? That's probably the 7th or 8th time I tried it. But I've been trying that video years before, and I just keep losing balloons. And this year I was like, oh yeah, Chinese air balloons, here's my time. And I still caught hell. That still took about 8-9 takes. But one thing I haven't seen you do, staff slings. You ever mess with staff slings?
Oh, I have actually got a couple right back here. Yeah, I mean, I've gone out and thrown them a little bit. I haven't really thought, because I didn't want to do a video just me throwing them.
Yeah.
I was trying to think of something I could do with that and just really never came up with an idea. I mean, that might still be something.
I got you, brother. You need to get you a big old stick and sling that damn pumpkin. I did one the other day with a big stick and big rocks. And it was surprising how far you can get it without even really trying. Like, even with my arm, like, you throw something heavy like the pumpkin, that's going to hurt if you try to throw that a lot. And over that staff, you can get it pretty damn far.
All right. Well, I can put on the list, although I have to have 2 working feet before I'll be able to do that.
Yeah, definitely. It just be one, because I know you got the biggest pumpkin. I bet you can sling that thing with a big staff. Fun
that good. I mean, that was actually on the table, not with a staff sling, but last year's pumpkin challenge. That was going to be the attempt. I was going to try to throw the pumpkin, but the sling didn't fit it, and I was just like,
"That's a lot." Yeah, that's the one reason I didn't do it. It's like, man, now I got to make a sling with a pouch like this.
Yep,
that's gonna take me foul, and who knows how it's gonna come out.
Yeah. So,
your quad slinging, I was very interested in that. Did that not pan out for you? Was there problems with that?
You talking about the one with the solid pouch?
Yeah, with the eggs in it. I think you said an egg holder, like. Yeah, that bad boy right there.
Right here.
Yeah, huh. It seemed like they came out pretty good, a little scatter shot, but
yeah, no, I am absolutely tied up. No, it did work. I mean, I'd say probably kind of as well as I expected it to, but there was a lot of feedback come in on the pattern I used for the holes. And like guys were asking me, why'd you set them up like that? And it was because the the original picture that someone put up that gave me the idea, that's how, because this was supposed to hold eggs, and that's just how they were laid out.
Oh, yeah.
And so I never even thought about trying to configure it differently. But no, that'll be another one coming at some point, because, I'll do one with just like 4 and 4 evenly spaced in like the square.
Yeah.
And then another thought was like put them in a diamond, so I have like 1 here and 2, and then one over there.
Hell yeah.
Because it took me a while to make this because I didn't have the right tools to punch a hole that big.
Oh, man, yeah, because
So
that's pretty unique.
So I was going through like a drill bit, then a step up bit, and then a grasp and a file and all that stuff. That
Good Lord. Got a whole saw, huh?
Now I got a friend who got a great big giant drill press. So,
oh, there you go.
So I'm gonna just cut the pieces out and take them over there, and we'll punch all the holes through in like 5 minutes.
Hell yeah. Pop, pop.
But so yeah, that's on one of the many lists. I actually got a couple experimental type slings that'll be coming up.
I'm just speedballing things here. What would be cool would be something like that, but like I'm just thinking like an 8 carton. I mean, maybe smaller, but you can have all your ammunition in it and the sling just ready to go. You know what I mean? Maybe you could like walk with it, and if something pops up, just pop your strings out. It's already loaded. That would be something cool.
That could have been used for the one, because I actually did that the one with the 8 pouches on it.
Yeah,
I ended up setting them up in an egg carton because you get exhausted just trying to load it, holding it up there, and then by the time you actually go to your throw, your arm's completely shot.
Yeah, you did that one a while back. I think I tried to do something like that. I think I grabbed like 2 or 3 slings. They're separate slings. And like you said, it sucks loading them, spinning, they twist. But if it's done right, they surprisingly come out decent. It's hard to get it right, but they surprisingly work if all things are working. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, 100%. Let's say like the ones with 8, that was just too many. There's too much tangling, and even after your throw, they get so tangled up that it takes you 5 minutes just to get them untangled.
Yeah.
But if you make one with 4 pouches, because I got 2 of those, I did one with them all at the same length, and then one with staggered length. And the ones with 4 pouches, those work pretty well.
Yes.
With all the same length, you can get a pretty tight spread with it.
So it's better the same length than staggered?
Yeah. Well, it depends what you're looking for. I mean, if you want them to go spread out, then the staggered is what you want.
Okay. But they all work about the same. They don't they all tangle up about the same. They just throw different.
Yeah, although with 4 pouches, it's not too bad because it's just 4 strands. When there's 8, they get really tangled up. And then all your pouches are in there too, and the cords get stuck on them. I mean, I made them out of leather. I guess you could use something else that wasn't.
Yeah, I like that.
Wasn't as grippy as that, but yeah, I mean, if someone, like you had mentioned, holding like a few slings at the same time. That's what sparked the idea. I saw a video. Nook did that. He like held 3 or 4 slings and threw them all at once, and I was like, "Hey, I can do that with 1 sling."
Hell yeah!
But yeah, do a 4 pouch. They work good.
That's fire. I don't know where you would know that is. You got to be slinging. That's something that's an exclusive. You ain't gonna find that out nowhere else unless you go sign up to Joe Meadmaker. I'll tell you one thing. One of the most impressive videos I seen by you by far was the dual welding. When you had a sling in one hand and a sling in the other hand. You made that look a lot easier than it actually is. I was surprised because I tried to go do that. I might have made a video like that. I'm sure I did. I was so impressed. But man, you made it look easy. I was like, man, that's cool. I got to go try it. And dude, I almost had a heat stroke trying to do that out there in that sun. It's like, man.
All the practice. I mean, that video has there were a few cut, but that has pretty much every actual throw I did, even the tennis balls right at the beginning, kind of the practice. But that motion, I did that for a little bit. I probably did even in the house, half hour of practice of that step, which it was different when I was actually outside and throwing stuff, but I kind of got that movement of how I wanted to go through that down pretty well before I went out and tried to throw anything.
That's fine. That's fine. It just shows slinging. Like, that's kind of just rebirthing your sling. Like, all right, I got to try a different thing. And then once I do it, it works. It's like, bam, the satisfaction is there. But that video, I recommend everybody go watch it. It just tells like a good story. I'm sure this is the same one I'm thinking about, because even like right at the end, he was like just trying to do something. And then right at the end, you just freaking did it. And I was like, I love this video. Perfect.
No, yeah, you know that was I think it was the very, very last throw. I forget what I had for that. I think it was 100 ice balls, or was some even number like that. And I think it was I mean, I had a couple other double hits where I hit with both of them, but it was the very last throw, and it was like just one left, and I got the double hit on the last one.
Bro, perfect story. Like, just watching it, you keep you interested the whole time. I loved it. I watched that video a bunch of times, and I try to like, okay, I gotta try to get stories in my videos like this. You know what I'm saying? It kept my attention, and I liked it, man. Hell yeah.
Man, I meant to do a follow up to that, but just never got out and recorded it because in the post on the forum, Iron Goober, he was one of the ones that I think he might have been the one to bring that idea up about using two, because we were just talking about backhand slinging. But I meant to go, because when he first brought it up, he meant throw the backhand first and then come around into your forehand. Oh. And I meant to go out and try that, but never got to it. But that's something else if people want to go out and experiment with it. Try to hit the backhand first, and then get a real quick, as you give your like light backhand throw into a big heavy forehand.
Oh, what? Can you imagine seeing somebody come at you like that? What are you doing? Pop, pop! Oh,
so he's twirling around like a ballerina, and then he threw stuff in my face.
Oh, what's going on? It's like it's like the worst part is the loading aspect of slinging. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I wish there's a way I could hold it in my hand like this and just drop the ball in the pouch. Pop! I tried it, yeah, but that's almost impossible. You probably need like a big dumb pouch.
You don't need that big. You know what? I have the one video. It's the cupped pouch sling demonstration.
Okay.
And I load it just like that. I hold the sling and just drop the ice ball right into the pouch.
Oh, okay. Hell yeah. I'm about to check that sling out. The second time we talking about to make that thing happen. Have to make that thing happen for sure. Let's see if we got anything, any abstract slinging technique, or any crazy thing that you use. I might even ask the same question. I don't remember what you said, but like, what's the craziest thing that you use? You think you can use like in real life?
I mean, like,
I know that's probably a hard one.
You mean like for slinging?
Yeah, or like you're trying like I don't know, like say I remember you threw some ice darts. Like, was there something that you used and was like, man, that worked out pretty damn good?
That's of all the like really off the wall stuff like that. That one was one of the ones that did work better. That was the ice arrows. I just cut the last, I forget, it was like 7 or 8 inches off of an arrow, and then put that down the ice mold when they froze. But that, I wish I'd have, because I was only able to make 10 of them. I think that's all the arrows that I had.
Yeah.
But I wish I'd have taken more of the front angle, like the oncoming angle, slow motion shots, because I only did one of that, and you see that coming in perfectly. You see the ice ball coming in, and that arrow goes right to the back of it, and you see it steady it. So, I mean, if you had like a round or roundish projectile that, yeah, exactly. And you wanted it to hit point first, you just got to put some fletchings out the back of it, and it'll go straight on. I'm
so glad you said that, because I felt the same thing when I threw them that one time. I only had a few of them, but it's weird because like when you throw it, it's like it kind of like a messed up throw, but you can see it straighten up and speed up.
Yep.
It's like it's the only time I've seen a projectile like actually kind of speed up. I was like, man, this is cooler than I thought. Oh yeah, I like them darts, man. That's crazy.
But yeah, and because when I was throwing those things, I didn't know if they just because the ice ball is kind of a heavy thing on its own, so I was kind of picturing them flying sideways out in front of me. But yeah, just like the darts there, they straightened out and
put it on track. Hell yeah. Let's see.
Still hard to throw though with the arrows sticking out the back of it.
Yeah, definitely is. That's one thing you kind of learn. Like I was learning throwing, like when I'm trying to get the point a certain way. Once you kind of figure that out, it still can get aggravating, but it still helps a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, if you hold a dart backwards, it's definitely a good throw. You know what I mean? It's like I don't know. I'll show you. I'm sure people try to tie me to saying, but like it's like when you hold it, it's like wherever your thumb, your palm is, it's like that's where she's gonna go. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, whew. You put it backwards though, it ain't gonna work out like that.
See, mine, I didn't even put them in like that. They were just in the pouch hanging down. They just went straight down with the arrows sticking
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, it was like like a ball with a thing. Yep.
I mean, at that point, putting them a certain configuration might have ultimately worked better, but I didn't know what I was doing then.
Hey, hell yeah, bro. That's all we talking, man. You know what I'm saying? Hell yeah. Good slingers, bull smacking about the game, man. That's what I love about it, because there's so much things that we could talk that we know about that nobody even considers. They don't even think about it, because slinging is such a thing that, like, I mean, you and me, we both been doing it forever. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, well, forever, 4 years, 5 years.
4 years.
It feels like forever. Especially because I still can't hit the damn targets like I want. You would think after all this time and effort, you know what I'm saying? Like if we put all this time and effort in a bow and arrow, we could probably compete in the world championship or something. You know what I mean? Just slinging is just.
I say that all the time. It's like, tennis ball at 13 meters. Missing should be difficult right now. It should be just like you're just so zoned in, you just hit it. You can't miss.
Exactly. And a tricky thing about tennis balls is if you go at 10 meters. That's when it's easy. 10 meters is when it's easy as hell. Because I remember I was at a family get-together, like Christmas one time, where I set a little target. It was just a diana. I was about 10 meters away. I was hitting that thing like a professional. And this was 2-3 years ago. You back up 3 meters and see what happens. It's a totally different ball game.
So if I just make a target that's small so it looks like it's 13 meters away.
There you go. Oh, yeah.
But yeah, back on the question you asked, not so much, because like a lot of the weird slings or weird ammunition, it's kind of built to do one thing, and that's what it does.
Hell yeah. I haven't
found anything like, oh, this works great, I need to, implement this into everyday slinging. Not really.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, like when it comes, like I'm really like in my little egg shapes. I got the little screw in some of them, but I like this weight, But I still haven't made enough to go waste enough. I can't say waste enough of them, but I also destroy the target. But I'm wondering if I could be more accurate than these with a tennis ball. I just never took that chance yet. But what, like your most accurate, you would say, is the ice, or would you?
Yeah, most definitely, because that's just, overall, that's what I've slung way more than anything else.
Would you go lighter or heavier if you could change your ice modes, or you pretty much got the modes because that's what you wanted?
They're fine now. I might go like a little bit smaller,
Yeah.
just because then I think I could, get the pouch a little bit smaller, maybe get a faster release, even though it's ice sliding out, so it's not bad at all. But the only with ice is you can't, if you go smaller, it gets lighter in weight. You
Yeah.
can't get a denser projectile; it just won't happen. Because like I have molds to make smaller ones. I have ones that do like I think they're like inch and a half or something like that.
Yeah.
But they're just, I mean, they work fine, but in general, they're too light for regular use. They're probably somewhere in that tennis ball kind of weight range.
Yeah. I feel that, man. I feel that. You know, I think you might be the same if you would ever go whenever you go to Ibiza, like when because there's just a bunch of rocks with you know what I'm saying, and a lot of people like those small, little 80, 100 grams. But it's like, man, you give me a good 200, 300, maybe something around a little bit heavier. It's like I don't know. I just feel like I'm a lot more accurate with that. Like it might be a little slower throw, but I feel like I'm more accurate. And if you want to bring this to like, I don't know, practical situations, if you get hit with it, it's over with. You know what I'm saying? It's so
Oh yeah,
heavy, it's gonna destroy it. So it's not like, it's not like it's throwing soft or anything. It's still slinging them things.
yeah. So the smaller ones, that's where you're almost looking for penetration. When you the bigger stones like that, that's just for blunt force trauma.
That's it. That's it, bruh. Um, the freaking 4 ounce lead bullets. I put a matter of fact, I got one right here. One of these bad boys, right? That's 4 ounces with an LED light on the top.
I got you.
I was throwing it for distance, bro. This thing goes in the ground that deep every
Oh, I
time.
bet.
Right. And I can't believe I found this one the next day. I was trying to do a night video, and I was with my cousin. They said it, and he was looking around. He's like, "Is that a?" He said, "Never mind." I said, "No, that is a blue light." But it took me about 15 minutes to get it, but you can only see it from this certain angle. I was like, man,
Yep.
devastation is crazy with these, bro.
That's why you
Crazy.
can't measure the distance of lead.
No, no, it's aggravating. Aggravating. I think my next one I'm gonna try it with some mud. I think my next one gonna be something like this here. I'm gonna throw some mud with a little piece of light on it. You know what I'm saying? It might break up, but the light will be on top of the ground. That'll be my
Yeah,
next little
yeah.
try. you know,
No, sounds good.
hell yeah. Well, Joe, I'm glad that I finally got to talk to you face to face. Appreciate your lovely meat.
No.
It's delicious. You the man when it comes to that. We got your YouTube channel. Anything you want to like, YouTube. You got Instagram too. YouTube, Instagram. I'll throw all
Yeah,
that up at the bottom and stuff.
yeah. I mean, Instagram heads up to anyone. I'm not too active on there. That's mainly just for yakking with the guys.
Oh, bro. Okay.
But
Well,
there's a few mead pictures and sling pictures and stuff up on there.
nice, nice, but awesome YouTube channel. I definitely recommend go check. Probably the most abstract channel out there with all the craziness. Right up there with acro ballistics. I think I said, yeah, acro
Oh yeah.
ballistics. He got a bunch of crazy ones too, with the darts and the
Although,
compound slings.
forewarning, he's way smarter than I am. If you come check my
Oh,
channel out,
he's smarter than everybody.
yeah.
I guarantee he's the smartest slinger out there ever. You know what I'm saying? If
If
you ever, well, you
not,
probably, well,
he's
you
got to be
obviously,
damn close.
yeah, huh?
I said if he's not, he's got to be damn close.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm sure you talk to him on a lot of forums and stuff, but dude, in person, when it comes, I'm already the dumbest, so I just try to be quiet. But bro, you see like him, Mercer, Iron Goober, um,
Yeah,
Archaic Arms. When they start talking, it's like sit back and just try to keep up. You know what I mean?
I'll be there. I'll just sit next to you. We'll just sit there and nod.
Sip on me. Yeah, that's right. Oh shit. Well, yeah, Joe, man. I'm glad to have you on. Love to have you on again sometimes.
Wow,
And
sounds good.
hell yeah, good seeing you, brother. Hope everybody like what they seen today. They did. Don't forget to like, subscribe, tell a friend. When you do, tell them that notification bell. Bing!